Hello, everyone. This is Mad Cat. And, well, as the title of this video says, the calendars are out. Cat. And, wow. I guess I should have paused first before I actually spoke. So, anyways, first I want to apologize because I didn't get the calendars out until Friday. The bulk of them this past week. And it really wasn't my intention to do so. But the thing about calendars is it's a lot of hard work, and you know what they say about best laid plans? Well, they're doomed to fail. Excuse me. Doing a calendar, as I mentioned, is a lot of hard work, and we had done this once before, and we learned a lot of lessons doing it in 2017. So we had hoped that having gone through that once before would have made us more prepared in 2019. Unfortunately, we encountered a lot of the same stuff. It was mine and Modern Medusa's goal to try to get the entire calendar done by the end of August. We were trying to find models, and we initially wanted to do a 16-month calendar because we wanted to have more facts in there. We wanted to have a bigger calendar. We wanted to do better than we did the first time around. And of course, we didn't. We ended up with a 12-month calendar, and our overall campaign only made half of what we did initially, the first year. But anyways, we tried to find models, and for the longest time, we could only find 11 models. Eventually, a 12th one came, but the other thing is that some of the models ended up dropping out. Now, some had reasons that they just couldn't be in it. Others, they just kind of lost communication with us. And I'm not going to say who did what, but near the end, we were scrambling to find models, something that we also encountered in 2017. See, what we wanted be done in August, be done with all the pictures, work on it in September, order in October to have a November 2nd release. Well, by the end of October, we still hadn't received all of the pictures that we needed. And when we finally did, we kind of rushed through the creation of the calendar. In fact, when I look at the calendar now, there are actually a lot of mistakes that I didn't notice when I was designing it. And had I had more time to do it, more leeway, I probably would have picked up on those. There's many instances where I airbrushed something that I didn't mean to. And there's quite a difference between working on your screen. I mean, I have a 15-inch monitor here, and trying to look at a picture while editing it is much different than it actually being printed. So, and I know this sounds like a lot of excuses. I'm just trying to explain the challenges that we faced and why it ended up being delayed. So there were a lot of mistakes that was made in the creation, and I was primarily the one who put the calendar together. Not to say that Modern Medusa didn't help at all. She was a lot of great help with it. We make good as a team together. But anyways, I was the one who was ultimately responsible for that. And I look at it now, I'm like, why did I do this? Why didn't I see this before? And it's just like, So it's like, and it's just the nature of what happened. I'm not saying that it's anyone's fault that things happen this way. all I'm really trying to say is that we try to do our best to prevent this from happening. But life happens, things happen, and you just got to make best with what you have. But by the end of November, I actually had the calendars and I was ready to ship out. But unfortunately, another life event happened to me personally. Now, at the beginning of November, I started to feel very weak, very run down, very tired. I at first thought maybe this was just the weather, that, the cold front in Arizona finally kicked in. And as I'm getting older, I'll be 40 this year. Maybe my body just wasn't adapting to the new weather change and that it would just go away on its own. So I ignored it. But then my body began to hurt, more specifically my legs and my feet. And when I went to sleep, I would wake up in the middle of the night screaming in pain because I had pulled my muscles. Just the act of moving and stretching in my sleep caused me to pull the muscles in my legs and the tendons in my feet. So obviously something was wrong. Now, I'd experienced this in 2018, and the solution was to do DDPY. So I was trying to do that again to see if maybe I could do it. Something else that happened was I give plasma. It's the only way that I can make money right now. And pretty much since 2017, I've been just going like twice a week. Some months I take off, but by September, my body just finally had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. And when I went back in November, my plasma, sorry, lost train of thought. I'll do that a lot. The plasma that I give, it's normally like a beige, orangish color, but mine was a very bright pink. And they told me it was because I must have eaten a lot of protein the night before, which I didn't. I thought it was odd, but okay, whatever. And then the next day that I went, they wouldn't let me give it because my protein levels were very, very high. So, and also I had lost weight, a lot of weight. I lost 30 pounds. And I first thought maybe that was 30 pounds since September, because that was the last time my weight was measured. But I think it was probably around the beginning of November, and this was the middle of November when this was happening. So basically I lost a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. But I thought, okay, I just need to work out. That's what my problem is. And I was going to wait until the new year to go see a doctor because I'm like, it's the holiday season and, it's going to be tough to see a doctor. I don't want to go through that hassle. I'll just wait for the new year. But during the week of Thanksgiving, the pain in my legs got a lot worse, to the point that it was difficult for me to stand for long periods of time. I'd have to take breaks quite frequently. Also, I took my mom out for her birthday, which is the week of Thanksgiving, and we were at Golden Corral, and I could barely eat anything. Now, I'm a voracious eater. I eat a lot. And with Golden Corral, I usually have 4 or 5 plates, and then I go for dessert. But that day, I could only have 1 plate, and I sort of forced myself to eat dessert. I didn't eat a lot, but I was drinking nonstop, to the point that the waiter actually started giving me 2 sodas at a time just to keep up with how much I was drinking. I must have had like 9 or 10 glasses of soda. I was very dehydrated. And I started drinking Gatorade, which really didn't seem to help. So there's something wrong, obviously. And at a strong suggestion from a friend of mine, actually, it was one of the models in the calendar, she told me I should go to the doctor as soon as possible. I mean, she knew that I wanted to wait, but she's like, no, go see a doctor right now. So I went to go see a doctor. They did some tests. And this is in December, by the way. I had to wait about 2 weeks to see a doctor. They did some tests, and then I came back about a week later, and it turns out I'm diabetic. Now, by this point, the pain in my legs gotten so much worse, that I couldn't stand for 5 seconds at a time. Like if I needed to go get a drink, I would walk to the living room, then I'd sit down for a few minutes. Then I'd get up and get my drink, sit down for a few minutes, then go back to my room. And then, so it's like there's no way I could stand at a post office for that long of a time. And, still had there was so many problems at once. And the diagnosis was I was diabetic, which was a major relief to me because I was fearing that it was something a lot worse. Not that diabetes is not a serious issue. It's just diabetes is something treatable. Plus, I've long suspected that I was diabetic, but because of my disability with my head, my health has always been of secondary concern to me. My main focus was trying to do these videos on YouTube, trying to generate income for myself since I can't work a job, try to get health insurance for me, and then get my head treated. And then once that was taken care of, then I could worry about everything else. And that was a mistake, but, more often, it was just really what my focus was. I was so focused on trying to get my disability in order. So maybe I could start working, a job again, start earning a paycheck, get actual insurance. So, yeah, but it was like the day after I found out I was diabetic, I ended up going to the ER because my legs were in severe pain. Now, it was probably my veins. So it took me a couple of weeks to really recover from that. And that is why I had to wait pretty much until, the first week of, I guess technically the second week of January to get the calendars out. And I really do apologize for that. I mean, had things gone according to plan, we would have ordered the calendars in October. We would have sent them out and made our November 2nd release. That didn't happen. And even if that did happen, then my whole diabetes things, it wouldn't have affected me sending out the calendars. So I do take responsibility for that. I greatly apologize that it got out so late. Especially people overseas, it's going to take longer to get out to you. But, doing a calendar, like I said, is a lot of hard work. It's very difficult to do. There are like 1,000,001 decisions you have to make. Even having done the calendar a year prior, or 2 years ago prior to that, there was still a lot of challenges. We were really hoping that's like, hey, we've done this once before. We know what to expect. We can anticipate things. And yet it's like new problems arose. So this is why we're probably not going to do a calendar again. About the only way that we might do a calendar is if we can do a photo shoot and people show up to it and we can take pictures of them right then and there. Not that Well, most of the all the models that appear in the calendar were very good about giving us their photos. However, some of the models had like a very short amount of time to do it, because we had to find them at the last minute, and it's like, hey, we want you to be in this calendar, but you got like a month to take some photos and send them in to us. Where other models, they had basically 6 months to do it. So again, I'm not blaming anyone. Life happens. A lot of people wanted to be in this calendar, and for one reason or another, it just didn't happen. But, if we could like do a photo shoot. Someone is texting me. Sorry. So, yeah, that's basically it. We're not going to be doing another calendar in the near future.
You've got mail.
Did do the photo book, which this year is the quick reference guide. We actually still have a few of those left, and we're open to ordering more. It actually doesn't cost too much money for us to order them in bulk. So if you're interested in getting them, actually, let me grab a copy real quick. This is our, as you can see, I've lost a lot of weight, but this is our photo book, and it features pictures of the models, but it also has facts in them and their sources. And the basic idea of this is, if you're like talking to some feminists and they want to debate an issue with you, or maybe you see some post and you want to add something to it, you can pull up a fact on a variety of issues: circumcision, false rape allegation, cancer, prison, homelessness, suicide. There's a lot of facts in here, and you can quickly give it. And then if someone's like, okay, but what's the source for that? Either because they're an asshole or they generally want to know, the sources are provided on each of these facts. So if you want one of these, let me know. You can let me know here on YouTube, or let me know on my Twitter account. It's mad_cat__. So there's 3 underscores there. So, yeah, I guess that's all there really is to say about it. I'm glad we have done the calendar, and I wish we were going to do more in the future. I love displaying the women who do care about men's rights. I do love getting the facts out there. But like I said, it's a logistical nightmare. And it really was me and Modern Medusa's desire that made this project happen. It was definitely all the donations that was given to us and all of our fans, and the models they did add. But it's like, when dealing with this, if you don't love the product, then it's going to crumble. So it was basically our love of doing this, of wanting to get the message out there, that really carried it all the way to the end, to the finish line. So, but once again, I got diabetes that hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, it basically started at the beginning of November, and I didn't find out until the middle of December that that was the case. So I do apologize. That was something I couldn't control. Had the diabetes not happened, I definitely would have gotten those calendars out by the end of November. And then by the middle of December, you would have received them. So it is a regret I have. I hate that we were rushed to the very end, but it is what it is. And to those who are getting a calendar, I hope you enjoy it. Please share it online. Let us know if you have a favorite photo that you really like. I know Meowski has posted that she received her calendar, and a lot of people have liked that. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. While a lot of things messed up on it, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything, because, being disabled and being cut off from the world, I got the opportunity to do this. I got to do something truly unique, something truly special. And, I wish I could go out there and do the protests. I wish I could go out there and do the conventions, do the meetups. But I'm limited by my capabilities and my lack of finance. So being able to do something like this, something that's no one else has ever done in our community, it means a lot to me. It means a whole lot to me. And it's just something that I'm going to cherish. Just because something is difficult and challenging, and, well, I keep calling it a nightmare, doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it along the way. So I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. And, once again, I do apologize that it got out late. Life happens, and, I'm doing a video shortly after this one, making a very big announcement for my life and the movement. So I ask you to check that out and share that, because it might be something that may well define myself within this movement. So take care, everyone.